Hey guys, it is Tuesday here in West Virginia, and as mentioned yesterday, I had a bunch of stuff lined up for you guys over the next week or so, um, because we just got a lot of stuff in this past week that we ordered, including some pre-ordered stuff and things like that. Today, we're taking a look at a couple older releases, both from Autoworld, so it is another Autoworld show like yesterday. Now these are some that are very hard to find for reasonable prices, and they are popular casting. I still need one more after these two to complete the lineup. Um, and I'm talking about these guys here. First, we'll do the 73. That is this guy here. And this is the first pair released. It was the gray with the red stripe, and then there was a red one with a white stripe in the same type of package. Whenever Autoworld used to have like the premium, the semi-premium, and the baseline stuff, now they just have premium and baseline stuff. The baseline stuff actually disappeared for a while, but now they're back in 2-packs and 4-packs at Target. And then the premium are just cars that are on the card with no box, no display case, nothing like that. So they cut back on some of their expenses on packaging. The cars are still great though, but this is back in the day, and as you can see, it's a new tool said there right on the package. And then this guy is from, let's see, I think 2011. Oh no, 2014. Sorry. So this guy's from back in 2014. Here's some pics of some of the 118 scale stuff. And the Hemmings Magazine series. You have the 71 Mustang Mach 1, a 70 Dodge Challenger RT, a 73 Plymouth Roadrunner, the 76 Firebird, the 71 Dart, and the 66 Chevelle SS. Actually, I have one of the 70 Dodge Challengers is a plum crazy one with a white top. And then I have one of the Darts. It's blue. And, yeah, the other ones I don't have, though, but they're not Mopars. So let's go ahead and take this guy out. I already cut around the back of it, to get it out easier out of that clamshell package. And you can see it comes in an acrylic case. It has the lettering there, 1973 Plymouth Roadrunner, in like chrome letters. And the case doesn't snap together though, so you have to be very careful when handling the case so you don't drop the car. And the car does not screw to the base like M2 stuff. This PVC plastic holds it in place. And as I've mentioned before, I don't like the PVC plastic being directly against the paint of the car for a long time, because I think it does cause some imperfections in the paint. This had a little bit that was rough on the door. I took some rubbing compound and hit it already to get it out. But yeah, the rest of it looks pretty good. And this color combo is unique. You don't see this too often. The silver gray with a red strobe stripe on the top here. Usually these cars are a different color, like some neutral color, like a white, black, blue, yellow. And they usually have a white stripe or a black stripe. So this with a red stripe is kind of unique. Probably it's a rare combo, I would say. And it rides on the Mopar rallies. I wish they would have done these cars with the Magnums, because that's what they originally had. Most of them had Magnum 500 style wheels on them, because it was already into the 70s, mid 70s, well, early to mid 70s, I should say. And usually a lot of cars were riding on the Magnum 500s, but they never made one with Magnums. And as you can see, it's 73 has the more open grille. The 74 has a wider center bar in the grille. And the tail light lenses, I think, are slightly different. But you see they got all the birds there, one on the trunk, and the ones on the B pillars. So really cool. And the hood does open, and it has a detailed engine. And as you can see, it's got the dual snorkel air cleaner. Looks really good. Very nicely done Mopar. And undercarriage is nicely done, with all of the details of the suspension, the gas tank, and the exhaust. So I'll put him over there. Now this next one I got, I paid not a total premium, but I paid $36 for the car, and I was going to keep it carded, but when I got it, the blister was cracked like that, and the card was coming halfway off the blister, or off the card. But as you could see, it doesn't look like this thing's ever had any glue on it. There's no glue residue on the blister. There's no glue residue on the card in certain areas. So when the guy sent it, it had to have been detached a little. Now, the crack may have not been there. That may have happened during shipping, but he packed it really good. So I'm finding it hard to believe. I think it was detached and cracked, and he just didn't say anything, because now he's ignoring my messages, and the last question he asked me was the box damaged on the way there. So I said, no, you did a terrific job packing it. This had to have been detached at least a little bit before you shipped it, and he said nothing. So I don't know. I have to see what eBay will do for me here, but yeah, for what I paid for this thing, it should have been carded on a mint card, the way that it was advertised. But now it's coming off the card, and if you guys notice something about this card, it seems a little bit odd. But first, let me show you the card here. See, as you can see, there's no glue at all on the upper edge right here to the middle. This whole area here was never glued from the factory, is what it looks like to me. Same thing with the corner down here. The centers on the bottom are never glued. It did have decent glue here on the edge of that side. Just very little here. Nothing up there. So that's why I said this thing was falling off the card before he even sent it. It had to have been. But anyways, that gave me an excuse to do something with the car. And that is, I will swap it to make it look just like Daisy Duke's car from Dukes of Hazzards. The first season, whenever it was launched, she had a 1974 Roadrunner, and this happens to be the 74 Roadrunner. And as you can see, the wider grille trim, and then the bumperettes, I think, are a little bit bigger on a 74 than the 73, but you can see here that the tail lights are different. You had the backup lenses on the inside lights for the 74. But anyways, Daisy Dukes, I think, had a black interior, but it was the same color yellow, and it had the black stripe. I think it had a go wing, though. And they used it for a few episodes, but then I don't know what happened with the car. They said it got too expensive to have it in the series, so they changed her over to a 71 satellite Sebring. And then after the first or second season, they put her in the Jeep. And that was the one that lasted for the remainder of the 5 or 6 seasons that they were on. But yeah, this thing looks great next to my General Lee clone and others. And these wheels are from Autoworld. This is a set from their new Super B. Not Super B, but a Coronet RT. Same thing, pretty much. But as you can see, it looks really good. They did a great job on this casting. I wish somebody would do the 71 and 2 now and do it in the right scale with the right details. And as you can see, they got a nice radiator hose on this. That's what I was pointing out on the new releases of the Coronet and the Fury. They don't have the hoses anymore. But this, they do have it on there. And then I believe this guy had it too. It's a little harder to see in there. Yeah, he has it too. You can see over here. And the dual snorkel air cleaner. They chinched a little bit on details on their newer releases of the Fury and the 68 Coronet. But I really wish they would do a 71, 72 Roadrunner GTX Sebring and release it in all those trim options, because of the fact that we don't have a good one. Racing Champions has one that's looks like it's true to scale, but the body lines are not right. The proportions are off, like especially in the B pillar area, and I think the front fender they cut at too much of an angle on the bottom. And then Johnny Lightning makes a 71-inch shoe that are very nice, but they're too small for 1/64th. That's the downside of those. But I've been contemplating picking up some of those just to have in the collection because it is a very nice casting. It's just a little bit small. So that's it for our 2 for Tuesday, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And then we will be back again tomorrow with an Autoworld and a Johnny Lightning. It's still around 2 week going into tomorrow, and it is going to be a Wagon Wednesday. So be sure to tune in for that tomorrow. I appreciate everybody watching and enjoy your Tuesday.